Thank you, Professor Hamilton. Now, the next question is actually... sorry. Please, welcome.
I'll make it brief. In fact, I already touched on this in my speech. I said the role of education, and even in high school, is not vocational training. Now, in Hong Kong especially, given our exam system, an obvious answer is prepare our students to do as well as they can in the exams. So this is necessary, I think, right? Because given our current system. But I hope we have to balance that with what we have both touched on in terms of ideally what we would like to train our student in. Fundamental knowledge is what will last in a long time. Innovative, creative, independent thinking is what separates leaders, people who succeed, from the masses. This kind of skill that starts early in a student's age. I think that one of the main job of education is to expose and inspire students rather than transmit knowledge, only transmit knowledge. Of course, that's important. Just a very brief comment. I think it was yesterday at lunch. I had the great opportunity to meet with about a dozen Hong Kong high school principals. Okay, among them is the principal of St. Paul's Convent Secondary School. Most people here would know about it. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised that at that school, this is an all-girls school, okay, they actually sent a large number of their Form 2, Form 3 students abroad to Beijing, to all over the world. Almost the size of that program is almost bigger than, at the university. I thought that was a great thing. So you can imagine the student who, in fact, what I've learned from her is that now students are fighting to get into that program. Okay, I think that is a great sign. I think that's what leads to future leaders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chan. Now, I'm afraid we only have time for one more question. And it's been addressed to Professor Hamilton, but I'm afraid I'd like to exercise moderator privilege and address it to both of you. And the question is, what do you think of Hong Kong students? And what are the advantages and disadvantages when comparing them with students from other countries? And I do believe it's very pertinent, given your career in the US, for you to also answer this as well, Professor Chan, if I may. Who would like to start?
Shall I start again? I learned long ago that it's a bad idea to generalize when you are talking about human beings. And so I'm not going to single out British students, American students, or Hong Kong students. What I will do, if I may, is answer a different question. And that is one that I know is very much on people's mind about the reform that's taken place with the Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education. What is clear to us is that Oxford will absolutely accept the Hong Kong reformed qualification. I am absolutely confident that students who in their three elective subjects who receive 5 and 5-star grades, I am absolutely confident that they will be able to submit a competitive application to Oxford. Oxford applications, as many of you know, are quite broad in the factors that are considered. Yes, the high school performance in the form of the HKDSE. Yes, what is often a subject-specific exam that in many subjects is required in Oxford. And as I've mentioned a few moments ago, performance on an interview. All of these play a role in admission to Oxford. Hong Kong students over many years have performed very well indeed at Oxford. I have every confidence that they will continue to do excellently in their work, in their studies, in their research, because of course a very large number of students come from Hong Kong to study for master's degrees and for DPhils or PhD level doctorates. And so I have every confidence that they will continue to come. I want and look forward to them coming, and I hope very much that I know that the transition to this new diploma system will still lead to a strong flow of Hong Kong students coming to study at the greatest university in the world. I have to get that in because Professor Chan was so competitive in his speech.
I thought it was interesting that we got asked this question of two presidents who have been on the job for only a few months. Okay? And he didn't go to Oxford. At least I was a student in Hong Kong. So I will learn from Professor Hamilton. I would not answer the question as asked. I will answer a slightly different question, which is, given my own experience as a student in Hong Kong, what I would like to improve if I had the benefit of rolling back time when I was there. I think I would like myself, and by extension, a student, let's say, in Hong Kong, to be more inquisitive, to be more engaging in classroom or with other students, to be more exposed, to take a more curiosity approach. And because, as I said, if you really want to think ahead in what you will encounter in your career, in your life, it's not going to be what is in front in the textbook. It's going to be this other interaction that will actually pay off the most. So that would be one thing that if I were able to roll back time, that's what I would have liked to do in the back when I was a Form 6, Form 5 student in Hong Kong. This is what I would have liked to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. I think I'd just like to invite Professor Hamilton and Professor Chan to give a few closing remarks.
Let me again thank you all very much for giving me the opportunity to come to Hong Kong over the past 3 days and the opportunity this afternoon to address you about my observations of Oxford and the various world-class universities that I've studied and worked in over the years. It has been wonderful to hear the exuberance and the vitality of Professor Chan and to hear about Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. I think his dynamism reflects the dynamism of this great city, and this is a city that has been a major force in the world. It will clearly continue to be. He said, "Watch out, old Oxford." You know, I almost got out my walking stick at that point. I will remind Professor Chan that we've had 900 years practice. We are not going to stop moving. We are firmly focused on the future. Many of you will know there is the wonderful book Alice in Wonderland, and Alice in Wonderland was written by Lewis Carroll, whose real name was Charles Dodgson, and he was a professor, a teacher of mathematics at Oxford University. And there was a line in there when Alice was running through the forest with the Red Queen, and Alice was out of breath, and she said, I'm tired. Why haven't we got to where we should be going? We've run fast for a long time. And the Red Queen said, that's a very slow sort of place. Here, it takes all of the running you can do to stay in the same place. If you want to get somewhere else, you have to run twice as fast. And I think that what we've seen today in Professor Chan, and I hope from me as well, is that world universities are in an intense competition. Oxford is not going to stand still while the University of Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, or Beida and Tsinghua, catch us up. We are going to run twice as fast, so that like him outrunning the bear, we will outrun Hong Kong UST. Thank you.
Fair enough. The race is on. Anyway, I want to take the opportunity and thank Oxford University Press for arranging this event. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for giving us, HKUST, to have this opportunity to share the platform with Oxford and Professor Hamilton. So thank you very much.